All right. What's going on, people? I refuse to pay for StreamYards, so I don't know how long the stream is gonna be before they eventually cut it off. I got a couple free hours left. I kind of went ham last night, but as you can see from the aforementioned title, both genders can be narcissistic, can they not? Right? Once again, this is a safe space, and it is an open panel. Um, I really don't, I really don't do the whole I'm waiting for people to come in the room. I really don't do that. Well, people are coming in the room, but I don't do the whole, I'm going to wait until there's more people in here. It's like either they're going to come and stay because they like what the fuck you're talking about or they're not. Like, but I guess I get people that do that because it's like, I want them to catch everything from the beginning. Well, the title's the beginning. If you title things correctly, you don't need to wait until a bunch of people get in the room, right? But the title should be enough. Before people that need a little clarity, this is a safe space, episode 2. And I'm going to try to make it a different, unique topic every time. Um, just things that people go through in general. And I'm actually going to pull up some videos and some examples, some definitions, and I'm just going to be sitting here talking about narcissism in both genders, because both genders can be narcissists. Women can be narcissists, and men can be narcissists. And there are empaths that are men and women. Empaths usually are targeted by narcissists because empaths are obviously people that can sometimes be like people pleasers, or they might be a little bit insecure or have a low self esteem, so they're not as willing to like take advantage or use something against someone because they're like, I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. Now, I don't like how they categorize it, but I guess you have to. You can't just walk around calling people cunts and assholes, so they have to call them narcissists. And you can't just walk around calling people soft pussy ass niggas or bitches or crybabies. You got to call them empaths. So even though I don't feel that strongly about either one, we're just going to delve into this. And I will not be surprised if a few people have some stories of their own, or at the very least, just want to come up and speak their mind or speak on whatever we're looking at today. So I do not have any pre uh, research stuff. You're gonna watch me go on Google and just Google stuff. I'm gonna Google some definitions first. We're gonna look at the definition of narcissism, so we can start this off right. So let's go ahead and oh, there we go. I already have it up. Awesome. This is great. This is great. Okay, so the definition of narcissism. Okay, so apparently narcissism is spelled Narcissism. Phonetically, that's November, Alpha, Romeo, Charlie, Indigo, Sierra, Sierra, Indigo, Sierra, Mike. From Oxford Dictionary, it says it's a noun. It's pronounced narcissism. Excessive interest in or admiration of one's self and one's physical appearance. Similar to vanity, self love, self admiration, self adulation, self absorption, and what else? Conceit, self conceit, self regard, egoism, egomania. It is the opposite of modesty and diffidence. Now, I pride myself in knowing fucking words, and I do not know what the hell diffidence is. Modesty or shyness from lack of confidence. So, yes. So, it's the opposite of that. All right. The psychology behind it, apparently, is they're selfish, they're self entitled, they have a lack of empathy, a need to be admired, as characterized as characterizing a personality type. The psychoanalysis is self-centeredness arising from failure to distinguish the self from external objects, either in very young babies or as a feature of mental disorder. Apparently, narcissism has traits, which is something that was spoken of before. So, uh, I think it really emphasizes on the lack of empathy and just having a high ego and needing to be praised, right? Um, can you tell someone's a narcissistic person? One of the common signs of narcissist is a constant need for praise and admiration. People with this behavior need to feel validation from others and often brag or exaggerate their accomplishments for recognition. They also like to feel appreciated to boost their ego. All right. So now we have a full definition. Let's go to YouTube because YouTube is always fun, right? Uh, oh yeah, once again, the links in the description. Hold on. Let me go ahead and make some changes here so I can see people if they're trying to come in. Because I'm so goddamn interesting. Everybody wants to talk to me, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't say that. That would make me a narcissist. All right, so what is the psychology of narcissism? Let's find out.
Way before the first selfie, the ancient Greeks and Romans had a myth about someone a little too obsessed with his own image. In one telling, Narcissus was a handsome guy wandering the world in search of someone to love. After rejecting a nymph named Echo, he caught a glimpse of his own reflection in a river and fell in love with it. Unable to tear himself away, Narcissus drowned. A flower marked the spot where he died, and we call that flower the narcissus. The myth captures the basic idea of narcissism, elevated and sometimes detrimental self-involvement. But it's not just a personality type that shows up in advice columns. It's actually a set of traits classified and studied by psychologists. The psychological definition of narcissism is an inflated, grandiose self-image. To varying degrees, narcissists think they're better looking, smarter, and more important than other people, and that they deserve special treatment. Psychologists recognize two forms of narcissism as a personality trait: grandiose and vulnerable narcissism. There's also narcissistic personality disorder, a more extreme form, which we'll return to shortly. Grandiose narcissism is the most familiar kind, characterized by extroversion, dominance, and attention-seeking. Grandiose narcissists pursue attention and power, sometimes as politicians, celebrities, or cultural leaders. Of course, not everyone who pursues these positions of power is narcissistic. Many do it for very positive reasons, like reaching their full potential or helping make people's lives better. But narcissistic individuals seek power for the status and attention that goes with it. Meanwhile, vulnerable narcissists can be quiet and reserved. They have a strong sense of entitlement, but are easily threatened or slighted. Narcissists tend to act selfishly, so narcissistic leaders...
Oh, I went back. My bad. I hit the damn button on the keyboard.
Meanwhile, vulnerable narcissists can be quiet and reserved. They have a strong sense of entitlement, but are easily threatened or slighted. In either case, the dark side of narcissism shows up over the long term. Narcissists tend to act selfishly, so narcissistic leaders may make risky or unethical decisions, and narcissistic partners may be dishonest or unfaithful. When their rosy view of themselves is challenged, they can become resentful and aggressive. It's like a disease where the sufferers feel pretty good, but the people around them suffer. Taken to the extreme, this behavior is classified as a psychological disorder called narcissistic personality disorder. It affects 1 to 2% of the population, more commonly men. It is also a diagnosis reserved for adults. Young people, especially children, can be very self-centered, but this might just be a normal part of development. The 5th edition of the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual describes several traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder. They include a grandiose view of oneself, problems with empathy, a sense of entitlement, and a need for admiration or attention. What makes these traits a true personality disorder is that they take over people's lives and cause significant problems. Imagine that instead of caring for your spouse or children, you use them as a source of attention or admiration. Or imagine that instead of seeking constructive feedback about your performance, you instead told everyone who tried to help you that they were wrong. So, what causes narcissism? Twin studies show a strong genetic component, although we don't know which genes are involved. But environment matters too. Parents who put their child on a pedestal can foster grandiose narcissism, and cold, controlling parents can contribute to vulnerable narcissism. Narcissism also seems to be higher in cultures that value individuality and self-promotion. In the United States, for example, narcissism as a personality trait has been rising since the 1970s, when the communal focus of the 60s gave way to the self-esteem movement and a rise in materialism. More recently, social...
That's really interesting. I did not know that. Huh. Give me a second.
media has multiplied the possibilities for self-promotion. Though it's worth noting that there's no clear evidence that social media causes narcissism. Rather, it provides narcissists a means to seek social status and attention. So can narcissists improve on those negative traits? Yes. Anything that promotes honest reflection on their own behavior and caring for others, like psychotherapy or practicing compassion towards others, can be helpful. The difficulty is, it can be challenging for people with narcissistic personality disorder to keep working at self-betterment. For a narcissist, self-reflection is hard from an unflattering angle.
Am I a narcissist? I don't know. Let's continue. Now it says psychopath, sociopath, or narcissist. Now we could sit here all day and look at all these signs of narcissism, but we're just going to continue to do research until people want to join the conversation. Me personally, I don't think I know any narcissists, and I'm not exactly a doctor to like diagnose that type of stuff. I've met certain people in my life that have like certain traits where they're just kind of like cold and callous, or the way they care about you is purely circumstantial. Or I've run into people that care nothing about except for themselves, and they're willing to use anybody to get over or get what they want. They feel like that's how life is supposed to go. Like the strongest survive, step on the weak type thing. Yeah, so I mentioned the gender thing for a reason, because there are narcissistic women and narcissistic men. Now, the traits of narcissism itself obviously are the same, like psychologically, but I don't know because I've never done the research of how it affects men or women differently. Narcissistic men. I want to see. These are signs that you're dating a narcissist. I didn't. That's a 21-minute video. I'm trying to find a shorter one. Signs that he's a narcissist. Okay. All right. If any of you guys have insight on this, which a lot of people that watch my shit are pretty smart. If you got any insight, feel free.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we're going to learn about 12.
Oh yeah, and also these videos don't have to be played through. They can be paused, and we can have many discussions. I'll probably be pausing it. I just wanted to watch the first one because it was short and sweet, and it kind of got to the point as like a strong definition of what it is, how it is. So anybody watching this that has a good basis of where we're going or where we at.
12 signs that you're dating a narcissist. Now, let's begin. Number 1, me talk. If your partner is a self
Oh, once again, this is a safe space, ladies and gentlemen. It is a safe space. You will not be judged here. This is not a place for trolling or making fun of people. This is a place where people can be candid. That's why I like to want to pick particular topics when I do videos like this, because I truly believe that there are a lot of people out there that are suffering in silence, and it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to reach out. It's okay. Now, if you reach out to a narcissist, they might use it against you, right? But or a sociopath. My bad. That's what sociopaths do. They're always trying to manipulate situations. That's a different level. I don't want to get to the sociopath stuff. Then it goes to the psychopath, and psychologists say, like, don't do that to people. Don't call someone a psychopath, because psychopaths are like they're murderous motherfuckers. Those are the people who have no empathy. They don't just like have a little empathy, they just or lack it. Like they have none. And you shouldn't be going around calling people psychopaths, because you're implying that they might kill someone, and that's not right. It's dismissive. Um, when it gets to this sociopath and psychopath stuff, you probably want to wait for a professional to diagnose that. Don't be going Google and diagnosing people all willy-nilly, calling motherfuckers crazy.
centered as a narcissist, there's only one thing they ever want to talk about: themselves. They find ways to make themselves the subject of every conversation. Every story revolves around them. Every reference leads back to them. They're constantly the center of attention, and they like it that way. But there's one particularly annoying habit that almost every narcissist does in a relationship. Every narcissist rambles about their own great qualities. But a narcissistic partner wants to hear you talk about them too. They'll ask you self-centered questions like, "So, what do you like the most about me?" Or, "What about my personality are you the most attracted to?" It's normal to ask these kinds of questions every once in a while. Your partner might honestly be curious about how you feel. But if your partner drops the same conceited questions on a regular basis, you've got a much bigger problem, because there's a good chance you're dating a narcissist. Number 2, exaggerated language. But it isn't just the subject of the conversation that comes off as self-centered. You've probably noticed the same arrogance or self-importance in the way they talk about themselves.
Okay, each one of these traits are kind of in depth, and that's kind of cool. So, all right. So the first one is like, do y'all know anybody? Y'all ever dated anyone like that? That's like, you know, I don't know. That's just like, I need to. It's all about me. Like specifically, they gave an example. Like they're pretty much constantly trying to reassure themselves, um, by having, or they just want to hear good things about themselves, because they want, they want that to be reinforced. I guess it's an ego thing. Um, yeah, if you know anybody like that, shit, take notes. Shit. The second one is exaggerated language. I wonder if fuck this.
The words they use, and the kind of stories they tell. Okay, let's say your partner tells you about finding someone's wallet on the sidewalk. A normal person might say they were relieved to find the wallet's owner, or that someone else didn't run off with it. But narcissists have a very particular way of characterizing themselves. They want to look like the hero of any story. They want every story to give you a reason to admire them, to feel attracted to them. They want to leave behind an image of confidence and achievement, especially if they're talking to a significant other. That's why narcissists exaggerate almost every detail. They spice up the action, raise the stakes, and emphasize their heroism just to impress you. Suddenly, that story isn't about finding someone's lost wallet. It's just another chance for your partner to brag about how great they are. Number 3, zero follow-through.
Okay, so the second one was exaggerated language. This is kind of interesting. So in a relationship, have you ever met a person that would like tell you about an ex, or just a particular story, and the way they're telling it is like, man, I was the man out there, you know what I mean? I was on top, no matter what the story is. You know what I mean? They just got to be the best. I'm the best.
Talking to a significant other. That's why narcissists
I have yet to meet anyone with these traits. I mean, like they said, it's the example they gave, like asking, like, what do you think about me, or what do you like about me? They said if you do that every once in a while, it's kind of fucking normal. It is normal in a relationship for someone to possibly feel insecure at a time and be like, well, and for a girl to be like, oh, well, do you think I'm pretty, or shit like that.
Zero follow-through. A narcissistic partner will talk a big game, but when it comes time to back it up, they consistently fall short. This lack of follow-through is all too common among narcissists. Whether it's something little like a chore or something big like a job interview, your narcissistic partner will tell you they have everything under control, but they rarely ever do. If this sounds like your partner, you should ask yourself one important question. Is my partner really a dependable person? We all like to believe our significant others are people that we can count on. People that will come through for us when it matters most. But are they actually dependable? Does your partner really do?
Okay, so let me not be a hypocrite. Let's do the transparency thing. This is a safe space, and I promote it. I believe in it. I believe it is a safe space. So let me put myself on the chopping block. Being an alcoholic, not only being an alcoholic, but there's one thing to be an alcoholic and then be a person that drinks a lot. Right, because alcoholic is someone that just simply admitted that they have a problem with the substance of liquor. Right. Recovering alcoholic is obviously someone who's working on their dependency or getting into a space in their head where they don't need that substance to pacify them anymore. Right. Now I'm gonna be honest. Getting hammered all the time kind of made me like not dependable. Because as much as I wanted to do something, if I'm drinking Hennessy until 4:30 in the morning, and I gotta be up by 8 to be at work by 9, that's gonna be a little bit of a struggle, my guy. So yeah, that's been problems in my relationship. But does that make me a narcissist or just an alcoholic? Because when I'm sober, I'm halfway decent. I get my shit done. I'm not as lazy, so I don't know. I've been drinking like a fish for 10 years, so. Maybe my sobriety will show me a different side of myself. At least that's what my roommate thinks. He's like, then they'll get to know the real preach. Anyways.
Do the things they say they're going to do, because that lack of consistency is a huge red flag. Because everyone, no matter who you are, should be with someone you can count on. Number 4, inflexible empathy. On the flip side, accountability might not be a problem for your partner. Instead, they might have unreasonably high expectations of you. Many narcissistic partners are extremely unforgiving. If you're 5 minutes late for a date, they'll yell at you like you just crashed their car. Narcissists expect you to be perfect at every turn and want you to do every single thing that they ask, no matter what. So the moment that you fail or disappoint them, your narcissistic partner is going to let you have it. Number 5.
Wait a minute. That might be more of a common thing than. Look, I don't know. Some people feel like their woman nags a lot, but that doesn't make her a narcissist. She just wants her man to be the best possible version of himself so she could find him attractive, right? That's what I think. I think women don't nag. It's just they can't punch him in his fucking mouth without worrying about getting the shit beat out of him. So they just ask him to do things over and over again, which is perfectly logical. And for him to do anything else but be like, okay, I understand, and try to get it done and meet her halfway is kind of shitty. Like, you're a shitty person. But that being said, I don't know. Has anyone ever been with someone who felt like they had to be perfect, like they could never make a mistake? They say narcissism is higher in men, but they also said in America there are more. They said it's higher. They didn't say it's only men. So it's not as much female narcissists, but they exist. But I don't think that necessarily just makes a person a narcissist. I think they have to hit a couple of these different traits, like a good at least 7 out of 12. If I had to throw out just a guess, a little bit more than half, maybe. But yeah, do you know anybody who wanted you to be perfect? My dog What up, G?
What up, cuz?
I'm chilling, cuz. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm just scrolling through YouTube, and I just saw that you were on, so I'm coming to see what's popping.
Man, I appreciate you supporting me like always, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? How was your day, bro?
Oh, horrible, man.
Hold on, wait. This is a safe space. We're not judging nobody here. I just gotta charge my phone. Let me see. Put my phone on the charger. Because I took the charger to work.
To hide, man. You talking about it like, no, it was just like, I was in the dumps, man, messing with this, like, sugar business.
Okay, no, go ahead. To talk good shit. Go ahead. We listening.
Oh, there's nothing really to talk about. It's just that it wasn't a good day. I was like in bed for the most part of it,
Mm.
because I wasn't feeling good at all. That's it.
All right. Well, you feeling better now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. Because that's the theme of my safe space talks, man. Every
Hmm.
time somebody come up here, we're gonna ask you if you're all right.
Yeah,
We really want to know. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So today, if you see the aforementioned title,
Hmm.
I titled it. What did I title it?
Narcissism.
In both genders.
Mm.
Um,
Well, that's
it's because
inherent
I
to
did.
people. Period. So if you don't even have to say it like that because it's inherent to like people. Period.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But see, I feel like when you say both genders, it kind of agitates a conversation that might go towards relationships. And
You're on
I
that
think,
clickbait stuff, huh?
yeah, I'm clickbaiting like a motherfucker.
Clickbait. Yeah,
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 I'm
yeah.
trying to get the algorithm right, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, like, uh, I'm thinking that's more of a type of discussion that's more, how do you call it, engaging because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all right, let's say, there's a narcissist that works at your job, right?
Mm.
But, he works in a different department, so you
You
never
don't
really
even
run
have
into.
to. You don't even have to go look that far, man. You want to talk about
No, no. What I'm
narcissism?
saying, hold on, wait. What I'm saying is
Well,
your
I have a perfect
experience.
example for you.
No.
That's what I'm trying to say. I have a perfect example for you.
All right, go ahead, shoot.
Oh, yeah, I said like you want to talk about a narcissist? Try to freaking like the horde that tried to kill me for fucking SGLI, man, for the VGLI.
Oh, for your benefits,
Yeah, yeah, Mike's ex-wife.
man.
Yeah.
Talk about it, man. People don't know the story. So apparently, my boy
Mm,
Splathouse, a woman tried to murder him for his veteran benefits. You want to go into
mm.
details or no?
No, not really. I'm
All
not
right,
trying to
cool.
like I'm not really trying to stoke the flames and like kind of like you know
Yeah,
get the memories popping back in my head again because like it took me some time to get over this whore. I'm not trying to go back into that negative space, man.
I got you.
Especially because she holding my son hostage too. You know what I'm saying? So
Do you
holding
think
hostage,
that's a narcissistic trait to use the child against the a significant other or the person that
man.
you have the child with?
That's beyond narcissistic. That's psychotic, man.
Okay,
That's
that
that's
goes
beyond
it goes a
narcissistic.
little on the deeper end, right?
Hmm.
Okay, okay,
That's much like higher on the scale than like a narcissist. This bitch is
yeah,
psychotic. I mean,
okay. So that's
yeah,
that's a little on a different level. Mean Mary Jean.
yeah. She used the system pretty much against me, but like I said, she getting her comeuppance. You know what I mean? Like the laws are looking for her right now, and
Wow, is
yeah,
that serious?
the paperwork has been like engaged for me to get custody of my son back. So I'm just waiting for the papers to drop, and I'm on first thing smoking to go pick him up, man. Start over with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't seen him since he was 4. He's 13 now.
Damn, bro.
Hmm.
Well, I'm real happy for you, bro. I'm
Yeah.
happy
I mean,
for you, man.
you remember the Sitel days, man. I used to tell you the stories about like,
Yeah, man.
my
Yeah,
son and everything. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I like your insight, and you got a lot of experience with shit, and that's what pretty much I was trying to do. Like with these 12 signs, I pretty much stopped on every single one of them,
Hmm.
and they were kind of giving examples of like traits of a narcissist, right? The first
Oh.
one was
Hmm.
the narcissistic partner will probably ask you questions that kind of lead back to them.
Hmm.
Like, look,
Centered questions like, so what do you like the most about me? Or what about my personality are you the most attracted to?
so I was just stopping on each step or
Hmm.
each sign. Like, have you experienced that in any kind of relationship with your significant other? And that's why I wanted to say both genders, because men or women could answer it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to sound like, oh, narcissism. Because when you just say that word, people think of abusive men or some shit. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? We
It's a
have some of those
misconception.
on YouTube.
It's a misconception based on ignorance and misinformation.
Okay, my dog.
Hmm.
Explain.
Well, most people right now, like they're trying to redefine everything as far as
Hmm.
like the how
Hmm.
could you say that the all the politics that are going on right now, like gender identity, gender this, the Rainbow Coalition,
Yeah.
so like all the college educated, like, morons that came out of the freaking factories out there, they come out, like, with terms that have been, redefined to suit their narrative, their different narratives, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So uh like there's a lot of like misinformation that's being pushed out, because, like, they'll define a term that will suit their purposes, not like, the term that you will find in a dictionary. Because if you look at the terms in the dictionary, they're completely different from, like, what they are, saying the terms mean. You see what I'm saying?
right. Right.
So the definitions are completely different and all that stuff. That's why I say, like, a lot of ignorance and a lot of misinformation being pushed out, because, like, folks just, like, say shit, like, that sounds good. They try to embellish, exaggerate, or, like, completely, like, flip the meaning on its head to suit their different talking points.
Okay.
Hmm.
I hear that. All right. I
Yeah,
like that
that's what
insight, man. Yeah.
that's one of the parts that I hated about college when I was going. It's the fact that, like I said, man, it had gotten to a point now where, like, for example, like, even like in a science class, man, when I was doing physics, especially during physics, man, like, we had to write papers about gay rights, man.
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying?
That was
I'm
back
like,
then.
what the hell does that have to do with, the laws of gravity, E equals, like, MC squares, or
Right.
the different theories and shit, man. I came here to learn science, man. I come here, like, learn about people, what I'm saying, what people do in their bedrooms. That's not none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't
It's
want
a
to know.
fact.
You know what I mean? I don't want to know. So, hey, I came here to learn about, like, Isaac Newton, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Velocity, speed, gravity. That's what I came to learn. I ain't come out here to learn about these people, man. I don't want to know none of their shit, because it's not my cup of tea. That's not, like, I don't look that way. I don't go that way. I don't want to know all of that. So when they're talking about, man, I was like, look, oh, I was like, look, man, I was like, that's it. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah, that
eventually,
was
that,
a. It was
yeah,
a. It
that's
was
what,
too much of a
yeah,
trying to
that's,
make you involved in other people's shit. Yeah, like they trying to force you to in their
yeah,
bedroom. Exactly.
yeah,
They trying to force you in their bedroom when you don't want to be in there in the first place.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what pushed me to go, like, the trade route, because I was like, look, that college degree shit, man, that shit ain't gonna cut it. If that's how they, if that's how they doing, I'm coming here to study, like, specific subjects and shit. Now you're talking about, like, I gotta, like, talk more about sociology and, like, social issues than learning science. I mean, this is not cut out for me, man. I went for my trade. Like, when I was in Maryland, I went to a technical college to go in and get my certification in, like, automotive technology. I'm a mechanic now, so I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But
So you
that's
feel like all this. You feel like all this psychological talk with the relationship stuff just slows shit down and kind of just
what do you
puts
mean?
the kibosh on the whole thing. Because what I'm saying is, okay, some of these traits kind of make sense and some of them don't. Like, okay, so this one is like, okay, so if they say things that are like, oh, what do you think about me? Because they constantly want to hear about themselves. And then this one is like,
Hmm.
oh, a narcissist in a relationship is going to automatically over exaggerate stories to make them look like
Well,
superhero.
to tell you the truth, man, I don't honestly know, because I'm not, very well versed in, like, psychology and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
That would be like a question better suited for my brother, because he's the one who majored in psychology before he switched over
Ah,
to, like, some other stuff. So he would be more inclined to, like, answer that shit. Me, I just know, like, the basics of the basics of the basics of, like, the novice shit. I
uh-huh.
don't really know much about it, so I would have to listen to the thing itself. I just know that narcissism comes, like, is derived from the person in ancient, either like ancient Rome, that was so enamored with himself that, like, nothing else around him, like, had to, nothing else around him mattered. It was all about him. Me, 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 me,
Yeah,
me.
that was the first. That was the first video we watched,
Yeah,
actually, where the word comes from, and there's a flower called the narcissist and stuff
yeah,
like that. So yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
So that's about all I know about it. Everything else, I'm like, okay, well, since now there's, like, so much contention with, like, the DMC5, which is
Hmm.
the standard for psychology.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Until they bring out some new science about it, I don't know what you think. I just leave it alone. I mind my own business, and then I leave people alone. That's it.
No, it makes sense. So we're gonna
Mhm.
learn something new together today. So we're gonna
I
go
guess.
back on like one of the traits.
All right.
I think this is another one. This is number 4. So you're not that late.
Number 4,
All right.
inflexible empathy. On the flip side, accountability might not be a problem for your partner. Instead, they might have unreasonably high expectations of you. Many narcissistic partners are extremely unforgiving. If you're 5 minutes late for a date, they'll yell at you like you just crashed their car. Narcissists expect you to be perfect at every turn and want you to do every single thing that they ask, no matter what. So the moment
Have you ever experienced that in a relationship?
I don't know. I know
All
I got
right.
a
What did
shitty,
you
I don't
fail?
know. I got a shitty temper. I can tell you that at least. I got a shitty temper. And
Okay.
I also have some very high expectations. Well, high standard. I
Right.
mean that comes from the military anyway. So is it
Yeah.
is it like linked to that? I can't say.
I
But
don't
to say
know.
that I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I haven't seen a shrink in many years, man. So I don't know.
What
I'll
I was
probably
what I
have to
was
look
saying
into it.
is I
Mhm.
think you gotta hit on if it's 12 traits like this, probably not all of them, or it's probably like a couple added on. But I'm just saying you probably gonna have to hit a good amount of it, like a good 7, 8, or 9, to be
Yeah.
like categorized that way. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
gotta have a lot of those traits.
Mm-hmm.
ill or disappoint them, your narcissistic partner is going to let you have it. Number 5, requiring validation. In the mind of a narcissist, nothing is worth doing unless someone is there to see it. They thrive when other people recognize their success. Those compliments inspire them and drive them. For example, if they work extra hard on a presentation at work, they're not doing it because they care about their project. They're putting in all those extra hours just to hear their boss tell them they did a great job or to
That's
put their
my-
coworkers to shame.
That's
But
my
what
current
happens when no one
Huh?
ex. I said that's my current ex. My
Uh-oh.
daughter's mom.
Ah. I knew one was going. I knew one was going to he was going to recognize one of it.
Oh, that's her right there.
Salute, not on my watch. Salute. We talking. This is a safe space. We talking about narcissism. We just going through a little bit of traits. We looked at some history, and I'm pretty much, it's an open panel. You know me. I don't give a fuck about people coming up here and vibing and shit. So yeah, if you want to come up, the link's right there. You feel me? Feel free to speak. If you know anyone that has any of these traits, you got a story. This is a safe space, man. Yeah.
recognizes their work without any kind of validation, narcissists either get lazy or they get desperate. They start searching for compliments from everyone around them, most importantly, their significant other. If your partner is constantly fishing for compliments, they might be a narcissist. Number 6, violating the rules. Narcissists hate being told what to do. They think that anyone who gives them orders is trying to put them down or make them look small. So they'll do anything to prove how powerful they are, to show people that no one can tell them what they can and can't do. That's why many narcissists make a
got an
habit
echo,
of breaking rules. Not
Huh?
You got an echo. You got
Oh,
some
okay. Let me know if you can hear it when I mute myself. Hold on.
Okay.
because they're angry or defiant. They
Yeah, I can
break
hear
the
you.
rules just to break them. More often than not, narcissists have a rap sheet of petty crimes like stealing chips from a gas station. They'll rarely do anything serious. They won't rob a bank or steal a car. No, they won't hurt anyone, but they'll perform these small acts of defiance because they want to prove how fearless they are. So, if you're dating a narcissist, you might hear them bragging about running a stop sign or cutting in line. They'll insist that it just doesn't matter, that the rules are just there to be broken. But the truth is, you're dating someone who's really self-centered, who values their own time and space way more than anyone else's, which means you're probably dating a narcissist. Number 7, obsession with status. Does your partner act like they're friends with celebrities, or do they brag about how much money they make? Narcissists are often obsessed with status and power. Even if they don't have either one, they'll pretend like they're the wealthiest person in the room. Why? Well, because they need people to look up to them. It's how a narcissist develops their self-worth. They want the people around them to feel inferior. That's also why narcissists shy away from people with real power, because they feel small in comparison. They know they can't compete, so narcissists surround themselves with people they feel superior to. In other words, if you're dating a narcissist, they probably think they're better than you. Number 8, the silent treatment. Couples have been using the silent treatment for hundreds of years, but narcissists use this little punishment more than anyone else. You see, a narcissist believes that talking to them is a gift. They think you need to hear their voice, otherwise you'll feel empty and incomplete. So when they want to punish you, they'll just keep quiet, because in their mind, the silent treatment is basically torture.
Now, this is called ghosting people,
Mm.
right? That's what they call it nowadays, ghosting
I don't
people.
know.
I think.
I don't know. I do the opposite. I do that when I get tired of talking. Like, I'll talk to you once, twice, three times. If you don't get it, I don't talk anymore. Because I don't like to repeat myself. That's pretty much the only reason why I would do that. But to say that I'll do that because, like, what the guy said, nah, I don't do it like that. But I do use silent treatment when I get sick or tired of talking. I'll do, like, for a little while. Not for long, but I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Now, do you do like the narcissism way? They said the narcissist cutting off communication with you. They're like, oh, it's like torture for the next person. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because they really want to harm the person.
No, me, it's not for harm. It's like when I get sick of saying the same shit over and over, I don't say anything anymore. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, lack of positivity. Narcissists don't like to acknowledge anyone else's success. They're the first person to jump on a mistake or make fun of someone behind their back. But when something goes right, a narcissist has nothing positive to say. Why? Well, because narcissists don't want anyone to look better than them. They treat everyone's success as a direct challenge, even their partners. They'll devalue your accomplishments and subtly undermine your success just to make themselves feel superior. So pay attention to how often your partner encourages and praises you. If you're with the kind of person who rarely ever supports you, you may be dating a narcissist. Number 10, false entitlement. Does your partner get mad when you tell them no? This is very common among narcissistic partners because they feel entitled to everything you have. They expect you to willingly give up anything at the drop of a hat.
What was that, bro?
I said, there goes my ex again.
So she got? She already got what? 3 out of 12
so far.
She's not
we're
doing
not talking
that,
about
man.
the same person now. Wait a minute.
Oh, you just have different experiences. I got you.
The first one that I referenced was my ex-wife. The one
Okay.
I'm talking about is like the current one right now, the one that I just separated from like last year.
Got you. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But let's just say your experiences are 3 out of 12. As far as, I don't think I've ever experienced.
You could not. No, you could not tell this chick no for anything, man. You could not say no to nothing. You had to acquiesce to everything. You had to just go ahead and kowtow. Like, you would have to, because like that's one thing I did not do. And I'm a knucklehead. Once in a while, yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? On the fly like that, off the cuff, no problem. Yeah, we'll do it. But when it becomes to the point, when it gets to a point now where it has to be done every single time, every hour of the day, every minute of the freaking hour, like, hey, what do you think this is? Right? No, get the hell on. Get the hell on. No. So yeah, you cannot tell her no for nothing. But I mean, whatever.
I want to say I've experienced the inflexible empathy, the unforgivingness, not the perfection part, not the violating the rules, not that one.
The only time I violate the rules is like when I'm behind the wheel. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. I think I've dated a person who kind of thought they were better than me.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced the silent treatment, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I've never dated someone who a chick who didn't encourage me. Yeah. All right.
If they want it, you're supposed to give it to them. Imagine you're at work one day when your significant other asks you to bring them lunch. Now, a normal partner would understand when you said you couldn't because you're too busy with work. But a narcissistic partner would act like your job is less important than their lunch. Now, of course, the entitlement doesn't stop there. Narcissistic partners act entitled toward everyone around them. They get angry with servers for making them wait a few extra minutes. They yell at store clerks who make some kind of tiny mistake. So if you notice a pattern of disrespect, you're probably dating a narcissist. Number 11, failure to commit. Have you ever noticed that your significant other is scared of commitment? You want to take things to the next level. You want to get serious with them, but for whatever reason, they say things like, "Oh, I don't like labels." Their lack of commitment might be a sign of narcissism. Why? Well, because your partner is looking for the easiest, least intensive way to keep the relationship alive. They want all the benefits of a relationship with none of the commitment. They want attention and intimacy, but they'll do anything to avoid titles or labels. If you let
Just want to
them,
be
your
furniture in the
narcissistic
damn
partner
house
will
with the
take advantage
furniture.
of you for as long as they
What happened?
I say, just want to be furniture in the house with the rest of the furniture.
can. So don't let them get away with it. Number 12, willing admission. Yeah, I know it sounds strange, but most narcissists will recognize their own narcissism. In fact, they'll willingly admit to having some of the most common and self-destructive symptoms. Narcissists aren't blind to their own behavior. They often know what they're doing wrong. They know that they're being manipulative or entitled. They know that they aren't being as supportive of their partner as they should, but they have too much pride to actually do anything about it. That does mean, however, that they're self-aware. If you show a narcissist the symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, they'll be able to recognize those symptoms in themselves. This was actually proven by a recent study which recreated this exact situation. Researchers educated people who tested positive for NPD, and they found that most narcissists readily recognized their own narcissism. So, if you think you're dating a narcissist, don't be afraid to come right out and ask your partner. There's a good chance that your partner can tell you everything you need to know. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.
Okie dokie. That one was actually a little bit more informative. I feel like it's a little bit more informative. Okay, it's a little bit more in depth. We talked a little bit about any examples that people might have had in real life. I've experienced some of those things, but then again, I've dated not a whole lot of women. A lot of them you couldn't even really call relationships, because when I was younger, I was just kind of smashing with like no strings attached. And then as I got older, I started actually getting into real relationships, as in like moving in and all kind of shit like that. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so this one people might be able to relate to this. What it's like to break up with a narcissist. Oh, let me talk to Not on My Watch real quick. She said, "You need to do this show with me on my platform." I have no problem, man. I don't have a problem taking my safe space somewhere else. My safe space is what do they call it? My safe space is portable, man. My safe space is wherever I'm at. Watching Lady Snoop in the past week. Yeah, I watch Lady Snoop all the time. It's just she has really long lives, so I gotta really get into it and pay attention or play it back to know what's going on. And when I get like the gist or whatever, I'll go ahead and hit the panel. But yeah, I don't got a problem collaborating with you. We can definitely do that. Just my name is Preach on Instagram. I get off work at 7. You see what I'm saying? Like I get home around 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock sometime, depending on what's going on at the office. But yeah, man, just let me know. Hit me up in the DMs. Slide in my DMs. PRE7CH, man. I'm the same on all platforms except Facebook, because people are fucking weird on YouTube. Somebody put my family on the camera, I'm going to jail. I said that before, and ain't nobody been dumb enough to do it yet. So
leaving any relationship is difficult. Leaving a narcissistic relationship seems to be harder.
Oh, absolutely.
Why is it harder, and how do they leave?
Many times people leave narcissistic relationships from a place of frustration, exasperation, fear, confusion. These are not healthy states. I mean, ending a relationship is always difficult, but if it was a relationship with two healthy people.
I did come to your platform to scratch. I'm not planning on doing as much scratching. I might cut out the scratching completely, because the most of the scratching I did came from my alcoholism. You feel me? I get bored, go home, get hammered, hop on the panel, let out my frustrations. Now that I'm not now that my main goal isn't to get as drunk as possible every day, and I'm actually trying to stop completely, I really don't have a desire roast
Better
niggas
stop.
into oblivion and make them want to fight me. I don't really have a desire, but
Have
so,
mercy on your liver, man. Have mercy on your liver.
I know, right? I'm trying to have mercy on it.
Yeah. I just lost my pops to that bullshit, man. Cirrhosis.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's a lot of people I know that are behind the scenes, like hitting me, like, bruh, like, you feel me, like. It's watching you drink that much and saying you're gonna stop that shit. Like, I got family, and because once you start doing something, like, a lot of people come out the woodwork, like, bro, my people's this, my people's that, and you
Yeah.
don't know what kind of impact you're having on people until you actually start moving in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not
It's
perfect,
like me.
you know what
I
I'm saying?
gotta
Like,
stop with those fucking cigarettes, man.
I've been fucking telling you that shit since I met you. What was that?
I know.
7 years ago?
Something now it was, let me see.
No,
Nah,
Sato
man.
was.
You
Sato
were
was.
what I started we started at Sitel. My daughter was like just freshly born, man. She was like an infant.
Yeah, you had a newborn.
So talking about 2014, we like 8 years, 8 years.
Yeah,
8 years,
longer
yeah.
than that. Damn,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Yeah, man, I've been telling you stop smoking them squares, but see, I couldn't really be on your head like that because I was smoking squares too. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I
Yeah.
didn't stop and get my vape until like shit after I left Sawtell. What I did,
How'd you
then
end up leaving anyway?
I met my ex, and then
On
we
a
moved.
side note,
Yeah,
mm-hmm. How'd you
yeah.
end up leaving? After they closed, like when they were closing, or you left before?
No, they got mad because I figured out how to bypass the firewall and watch YouTube videos at work. So they caught me
Oh,
doing it one day and terminated me. That's how that
oh,
happened.
okay. Oh
Yeah,
shit. I left. I left because they couldn't accommodate the schedule that I was requesting.
yeah.
And it was already starting to had like be some problems like at the crib and shit with the old lady like watching the child and all that.
Oh yeah,
I was
you
like,
told me
look,
about
man,
the babysitting shit. Yeah,
yeah. I was like, you know what, whatever the fuck you're not going to do, I'm going to do. Fuck it. And that's the reason why she with me now, because like all that stuff came to the forefront.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, I already know how you are. I'm not letting you, fuck up my child's head behind no bullshit because you don't want to do certain things or whatever. Look, I'm taking her. I don't care what you say. You happy
Yeah.
about it? You're not happy about it? She coming with me. If you can stop me, stop me. If you're not going to, shut the fuck up. She coming with me, and she here.
That's good shit, man. That's good
Mm-hmm.
shit. All right, so now I'm gonna play this video back because bro
Yeah.
asked the question in the beginning.
Leaving any relationship is difficult.
Mhm.
Leaving a narcissistic relationship seems to be harder.
Oh, absolutely.
Why is it harder, and how do they leave?
Many times people leave narcissistic relationships from a place of frustration, exasperation, fear, confusion. These are not healthy states. I mean, ending a relationship is always difficult, but if it was a relationship with two healthy people in it, they may simply be able to acknowledge we grew apart and this hurts, and thank you for being a part of my life. And not saying nobody gets hurt, it can hurt badly. But in a narcissistic relationship, by the time you get to the breakup point, there have been lies, deceit, anger, rage, all kinds of negative situations. It's confusing. Now, a couple of other things happen too. Many times when people leave narcissistic relationships, they've tried everything. They've tried to change the person, which obviously was never going to work. But they keep trying, I'm going to convince them, I'm going to show them the error of their ways. But one of the big fears that keeps people in narcissistic relationships and makes it hard to leave is this idea that the minute they leave the relationship, the narcissist is going to change and be a better person for the next person they date. I hear that all the time. He's going to change, and now he's going to be really great to this next person. I said, why would that happen? They're going to go through exactly what you went through. If anything, you should send them a condolence card now.
Right.
But
Well,
they're
and even if they
convinced.
did change for somebody else, they're not changing for you, so who cares?
And they're not going to change.
And
I mean, it's
and
even
I know
more
that,
absolute,
right,
but
yeah.
they're not changing for you.
Right.
And so,
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Me and Mary Jean is saying congratulations, bro. No, I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie. That kind of sounds kind of common when people talk about bad breakups. That could happen with anybody. I guess it's like you scared to leave a person. So even though they hurting you in the relationship and it should be over, and it's actually, probably what's best for you. Like the narcissist is so good at manipulating people and being fake as fuck, and putting you in a position of probably, needing them, or them putting you in a position where you're now a little bit more dependent than you should be. So when they break off, they were so much a part of you, or a part of your routine or whatnot, because they made themselves because they're the type of person that has to be such a part of that routine. So they can just coldly just cut you off and break off and then leave you hanging with less than you had. Meanwhile, because they didn't really give you shit, they have everything
Yeah.
and you have much less. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
And many times
I don't know.
narcissists trade into a new relationship very quickly because relationships are so superficial for them. For the rest of us, leaving a relationship that meant something to us or even that was just confusing, our roots went deep. So it takes a while before you can reconstitute and enter a new relationship. Narcissists, boom. They've often replaced you by next Saturday night. They'll post it on social media. It's really, really destabilizing for people. So that means, though, that there's a word for it. When people are in narcissistic relationships that end, now all of a sudden the narcissist gets interested again, and now they want to go back to love bombing. So they do something called hoovering. Hoovering. And hoovering is when you suck someone back into a relationship. Baby, I miss you. I didn't realize how
Oh, my bad.
good I had it with you. That end. Now all of a sudden the narcissist gets interested again, and now they want to go back to love bombing. So they do something called hoovering. Hoovering. And hoovering is when you suck someone back into a relationship. Baby, I miss you. I didn't realize how good I had it with you. Every time. I really messed up. If I'd known what a gift and an angel you were, I'd be the luckiest.
It sounds so good.
Oh yeah.
I would love to be told that.
It's everything you ever
That's what this
wanted to
brother's
hear.
doing now.
So you either have got nerves of steel, or most people fall back down the rabbit hole. And they say, okay, let's talk. And then for a while, the narcissist might even act different. There'll be it's love bombing part 2.
Yeah, love bomb 2.0.
And so they go through that again, and boom, back to the discard. The cycle starts again. Now, if you do leave them, expect hoovering might happen. It doesn't always, but it might. Expect that you'll probably be traded out really quickly and replaced very quickly, which can hurt. If you leave them, you can also expect, if you're married to them, it's going to get really messy really fast. Messy custody, messy divorce, messy cutting up the assets. They may often do something called enlisting flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are the people who were close to both of you in the relationship.
Motherfucking my dog, Cookie Monster, man. She always be talking about them flying monkeys on YouTube. If Cookie wasn't so damn gangster, I'd play clips sometimes because she be saying some cold ass shit. But see, I gotta ask her first. I gotta ask Cookie, like, hey Cookie, you mind if I play this 10 seconds? Because she will roast your ass to oblivion. And everybody that was on the panel that day, and everybody that was in the chat that day, don't fuck with Cookie.
Relationship, your family, your friends, and they'll start to try to turn all of them against you. Hey, just so you know, you think your sister is such a great gal, she did this, this, and this, and they'll tell them all these lies, and then now these people will start turning against the poor person who left the narcissist. And this flying monkeys phenomenon actually can often re-traumatize a person after they do the hard work of leaving a relationship. It works sometimes, it doesn't work all the time, but they might be able to sort of mobilize friends who are sort of on the fringes of the relationship, people who really know you. That's a bit harder. But it can also be dangerous. A narcissist does not like to be left.
So they are going to fight and almost, it sounds like, be revengeful.
Oh, very much. They're very vindictive. And so they just don't like that it looks bad for their ego to be left. They may have had a plan. They may have thought, you're taking my kids from me, all kinds of things, despite they had no interest in being a father or mother to them while you were in the relationship. But now that you're saying this isn't healthy anymore, they don't want to hear about it. If you do go into couples therapy, they often hijack the couples therapy. They often try to charm or win over the therapist, making the person who's enduring the abuse look like a crazy person, literally like a crazy person.
And they do so successfully.
Oh, very much so, all the time. All the
therapist even gets sucked into
all the time. And so a lot of people are afraid to enter couples therapy with a narcissistic partner unless they've got a therapist who's really well trained in these issues. And they hijack the systems. And so at this point, people, when they finally do leave narcissistic relationships, they have been thinking about this for months, if not years. It is a very slow process of trying to extricate from these relationships. So it's going to be messy. It's going to be painful, no matter what, whether they replace you quickly, whether they don't, whether they make it a messy and painful divorce, or whether they really threaten to stalk a person. That's not unusual. They'll stalk them. They'll bother them through social media. Sometimes people have to block them, which is hard if you've got kids. A lot of times the courts, judges, mediators, custody evaluators, lawyers don't get this. They're like, come on, why can't you come to the table? And I'm like, oh my God, they can't come to the table. This isn't going to work. So we've got a ways to go to educate people. Now, on the flip side, if your narcissist leaves you, of course, my temptation is to throw you a parade and say, you are lucky. But that's not how people feel. They feel abandoned. They feel like, I've done everything and this person has the nerve to leave me.
Is it likely that a narcissist would leave someone?
Heck yeah, they replace people all the time. They trade partners. They want someone younger.
They trade up.
Yeah, they trade up. I would say they trade down because the person they've left is probably usually a solid, loving person. Yeah. But they'll choose someone younger, someone richer, someone they met at work, and they will think nothing of just switching out like that. And so people will feel very hurt. A narcissist typically will not leave a relationship unless they've got someone already waiting in the wings. That would be too much of an ego blow for them. So that under those conditions, they may very well leave. But most commonly, narcissists like to have their cake and eat it too. If they're
that's
married,
something for me to look into. Well, not really. I mean, not that I care. I mean,
what's up, man? This stuff is hitting on a lot of levels, man. This lady, hey, she hitting on some points because it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I can't tell if I don't think I've ever dated a narcissist.
I mean, what she say? Like, what was that term for saying that like the person tries to come back or whatever? That she said hoovering.
Hoovering, like a Hoover vacuum. Try to suck
Yeah,
them back into the relationship.
that's what she trying to do. That's what she been trying to do for like the past few months now. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like right now,
Oh,
she coming down to come see her daughter, whatever. I was like, look, you go find yourself a hotel. You find yourself your way to get around. You come pick her up. You bring her back. You're not staying at my place. You're not. Nope. Fuck out of here. So, because
okay.
I'm not, because me when you say we done, we're done. We're done. So she coming down like at the end of the month or whatever for to stay a few days. I was like, you better go ahead and find yourself a hotel, get yourself a rental car, because to say that you're gonna come stay at my place, it ain't happening. Cause like she been trying to pull back, like "Oh, I miss you, I miss you." I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Seriously.
Okay, okay. I feel
Mm-hmm.
that. Feel that. Now, we got me, Mary Jean in the chat. It's a little heavy. She said my boyfriend threatened to unalive himself. She said she took him back. She said marriage was too much, and he actually followed through with ending his himself. That I'm sorry to hear that, because like that's a whole lot of emotions.
Yeah, that's
Um,
heavy.
yeah, and you know, if a person lets themselves fall into a space where they're like, "Oh, it's my fault," and that other person isn't there to like confirm or validate or change anyone else's mind, or left some kind of shitty note, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like I can't imagine that. So, salute to you, man. You know, salute.
There on the side and make it all work, and be so surprised when they are told, "No, you can't have both." So sometimes these things can sort of blow up in their faces, but it is messy.
How do you prepare to leave a narcissist?
Preparing to leave a narcissist is no small task, because if you have kids and it's going to be a legal mess, you're not doing this divorce via mediation. You're going to need an attorney, and you're going to need an attorney who understands narcissism, which is not all of them. So you have got to do your due diligence. You've got to get all your financials in order. You have got to know what you're dealing with, because if a narcissist sense you're going to leave them, they'll sometimes start spending money, moving assets. Like you have, this is war. And so, but you can't start screaming and yelling more. You need to very quietly behind the scenes do your preparation, figure out where the money is, who's got what. So if they do start moving and hiding money, you'll be able to at least sort of know what's going on and be able to, get what belongs to you.
Yes.
In terms of custody, though, that's the most painful. By and large, courts in the United States want to award joint custody. And many times, the narcissistic parent will fight for custody, not even because they're equipped to be a decent parent, but to stick it to the person who's leaving them.
Wow, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot, man. This lady really sounds like she knows the fuck she's talking about. She has a whole channel. Let's look. Med Circle. Let's go ahead and
Bruh,
subscribe. Yo, what's up?
bruh, you want to talk about custody situations, man? Explain to me how the freaking court gave my son to the chick that tried to off his father. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for freaking insurance. Explain to me how they managed that, if you can. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Bruh,
That's levels, man.
bruh.
That's levels. Like I can't listen. I'm
Mhm.
a person. Gundry said it's time to get drunk and play Elite Sniper 5. Hey, look, brother. Not everyone is an alcoholic, and not everyone can't. Not everyone has that allergic reaction like I do. Some people can handle their liquor. So if you're gonna have a beer or two, man, enjoy it, man. Just don't have
Well,
too many, bro.
let me go in and let me jump off to check my sugar real quick. I might crack a beer, but I gotta check and make sure.
Yeah,
Hold on.
feel free, man.
I'll come right
All
back.
right.
All right.
Yep. Um, he said, "Damn, she told you a life story." Okay, I feel that. I feel that. You know, I want to listen to this chick more, improve the relationship. Okay.
All right. I'm in. It's going down. It's going down, but I still
Okay.
gotta wait. Yeah. I still
Right.
gotta wait to make sure. Yeah, because it's still kind of, well, not high, but it's still like, up to where like it will actually like start hurting me. So I gotta wait.
Okay. Okay.
I got one more
Uh,
injection to take anyway before I go to sleep, which is in about. Well, I'm not gonna go to sleep, but usually at 10, I take the last one for the day,
all right. All
which
right.
is the one, yeah, the one that I take before I go to sleep, which is long lasting insulin,
Okay.
so that yeah, it keeps things like level and under control while I'm while digestion is going and I'm sleeping.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Hmm.
Let me address the chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What up, 420? What up, 420? Oh, Gundry said he quit years ago. Hey, bro. Salute, bro. Keep going, bro. Keep going. Um, I'm good. 420. What's up, son? This is a safe space. This is a new it's a new little series I'm doing. I'll be trying out a lot of stuff on YouTube. Anything to start a discussion is cool with me. Um, like I said, I'm on a road to recovery. I can no longer ignore the fact that I'm an alcoholic. It's I'm not gonna let that shit kill me. Fuck that shit.
Bro, we gotta hang out,
So
man, because you need to stop that shit, yo. You need to hang out. You need to hang
I'm
out. I'll make
I'm
you.
on
I'm gonna help you quit that shit.
I'm at 72 hours, man. This day 3. So you
Okay.
know, um, still a gamer. Yeah, I'm still a gamer too, bro. But that's good you quit drinking. But yeah, what up, 420? I'm Gucci. You always welcome, my nigga. But yeah, this is a safe space, my little new thing. Right now, we just talking about narcissism, specifically narcissism in relationships, how it affects relationships. Because in my mind, narcissists can affect the world in a negative way. Like narcissists that like run companies and they can decide the fate of many people's lives can be dangerous. But I think it does the most damage when you're dating one and it's personal, like interpersonal, like that. And this lady, she sounds like she knows what the fuck she's talking about.
Well, my ex-wife was a like full-blown psycho. Still is. My current ex like has some traits, but I wouldn't say that it's like that terrible because otherwise we wouldn't have like we wouldn't have lasted like 10 years. You know what I
Mm,
mean? She had some traits, but I do have some too. But it's not full-blown like with like fitting like all the characteristics that were listed like in the video earlier.
yeah,
One or two were here and there, but nothing too terrible. Because, like I said, otherwise we wouldn't have lasted 10 years together and had a child in the process. So you know what I
yeah.
mean?
No,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Let me see, man. All right. Romantic narcissistic relationships, but see, it says romantic though. Aren't all relationships romantic? Yeah, Gundry said the drinking is fucked up, slow death. Yes, it is. Man, it's been 2 weeks since I had a drink, fam. Yeah, man. 420 is a fellow is a fellow dude fighting the liquor, man. So definitely you gotta show up for what, like pull up and if you got stories or whatever. I'm being real transparent with this shit. You know, and yeah, man, they're trying to definitely make it a safe space. Every day I'm gonna try to make it a different topic. It's gonna probably have something to do with some kind of form of mental health or a mental health disorder that negatively affects other people's mental health. Because, like I said, man, it's okay to not be okay. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to not be okay.
The romantic narcissistic love pattern often followed these 5 steps. A relationship with a romantic narcissist can at first seem like the best thing that could happen to a person. The feeling is indescribable, but short-lived. Narcissists are only out for themselves. They only portray love so they can trap their victims and use them to meet their own needs. Because narcissistic individuals are complex, having a love relationship with a narcissistic can be tough. Most relationships with narcissists follow similar patterns described here. Love bomb. At the beginning of the relationship, Mr. Narcissist will be into his partner. He's drawn and attracted to everything about that person. He'll be so loving and charming. He'll ask about every little detail. He's the perfect prince in a knight in shining armor. His charming personality will hook any lady. He acts like the perfect partner because he'll be attentive, go out for dinners with you and dates, holidays, and promise a lifetime together. The relationship will exhilarate the lady, and it'll be like the best relationship ever. And you'll be thankful that you found the one and only. Then suddenly, things will stop. This way, the narcissist gets a hold over the people in their lives. A decline. Almost as quickly as the stage of the love bomb started, all the attention and passion began to decline without any reason. Their partners will do anything to connect back. Call, try and reach out, try to be better for them, but things will hardly change. The relationship will lose the depth that it used to have. The partner who once felt loved and assured it was right will now feel lost and incomplete, miss him much, and be insecure and unsure about many things. Hang on. Lost, hurt, pained, and heartbroken. They can't seem to let go because of the hold the narcissist has established. They use this to control their feelings and emotions. Some hold on to faith and belief that maybe if they work hard enough at keeping the relationship, things will get better. So they begin to do everything to make him want them. So they allow abuse and ill treatment, change to become suitable for him, avoid confrontation, accept blame, and fix what was broken. The narcissist preys on this and continues his control. He won't change, will even become worse with time. You'll wonder if you aren't fighting a losing battle. You start acting crazy, feel used, depleted, and drained.
Hey, are you aware? Chronic back pain and fatigue are the significant causes of disability, and they are as well the direct consequences of
Most likely the climax of the romantic narcissistic love pattern. When he feels he no longer needs a person, he cuts ties off completely. He probably has another victim lined up already preyed on, so you're no longer relevant. All the effort and energy you put into it will be pointless. He may repeat the cycle again if later he fancies your interest again.
So what's your opinion about this? I hope.
So what's your opinion about this? We got a Muppet baby fucking narrating this shit. Okay, so
First of all, why is he saying he? Wait a minute.
well, it did
What?
say he the whole time, as if it only can be a man, but I kind
That's
of
what-
like filled in the blanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously women can do that to men too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, Let me see. This is real interesting. I'm learning stuff today, man. I don't try to like diagnose people, but I'm looking for traits, and I'm like, a lot of these things could just be chalked up to like, okay, let's say the person is just really unaware, and they think they're this great person, and they're really not, and the person decides to leave them because they're like, fuck this person isn't the great person that I thought they were in the beginning, so I'm just gonna leave them. Like if the other person doesn't like notice the things about themselves, or they just don't get the hints or see the signs, they're gonna think that person just up and left them for no reason. But in reality, that person is just completely done. You know, they probably tried to tell you like what they thought was wrong. You just didn't give a shit. So they were just like, all right, fuck you. I'm just gonna cut you off completely and move the fuck on. Like that could be mistaken for that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think nobody should say something about that about a person like that unless they fucking unless the motherfucker psychologically evaluated. You know what I mean? Shit happens. What's up, man? Hello. Thank you for supporting the platform, man.
Hey, Med Circle, Kyle Kittleson.
Oh, don't forget my Cash App still exists, man. It's Preach Truth. I just didn't put it down in the chat. I feel like the conversation's more important, you know?
And Callie, the lab right here. And of course, Dr. Ramani. Now, we just finished filming an entire series on narcissistic abuse.
Yeah.
And after we wrapped, I was just going like this to you, saying it was so good, so actionable. People will know what to do, what their options are, and what's happening in this very confusing time. But I know you have a question that you want to ask our audience first. So
Yeah, what I want to know from the audience is how many of you have had a significant relationship with a narcissist? It may not just be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It could be your mother, your father, a boss, a best friend, a brother, or a sister. Let us know down below, because it'd be very interesting to see how many of your lives have been impacted by narcissism.
we'll be reading those comments. And in this video, Dr. Ramani is going to explain 5 of the signs that you can look out for to see if you might be a victim of narcissistic abuse. Dr. Ramani, take it away.
The things we look for is, number one, if a person is plagued by self-doubt, they even find it difficult to make simple decisions like ordering in a restaurant, or what class they should take at school, or where they should even go to dinner. Those kinds of simple daily choices seem to get short-circuited by the fact that they no longer really trust their judgment. A second sign is a sense of helplessness. It feels like nothing that a person in a situation does works in that particular relationship. So whether they try to be nice, whether they try to be distant, whether they try to communicate more, nothing seems to work. And that's often because nothing will work.
What's going on, Sterling?
Yo, what's good? What's good, my dude?
I am chilling, my man. I'm chilling. Thank you for supporting my channel once again. It's my boy Splatterhouse. We actually know each other in person. We actually used to work together. Sterling, he just, I think he subscribed with last night. And
Yeah, last night. Yeah.
yeah, we were talking about what was fucking talking about? That was the first safe space episode. We were talking about alcoholism and
Yeah.
my little thing, and
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and he shared some stories. It was real cool. But right now, Sterling, this is another great episode of Safe Space, and we are talking about narcissism,
Yeah.
specifically narcissism in relationships. Do you have any stories, or if you've been watching even a little bit, do you recognize any of these traits? Have you ever recognized any of these traits in a significant other? You know what I mean?
I'll take it a step further and say I've recognized some of these traits in myself, and
Okay.
I've been told that I have some of these traits, and when that happens, I always immediately fire my shrink. Like, if you say something I don't agree with, you're fired.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
that's funny.
Nah. No, let's let it play out. I didn't mean to interrupt. I really didn't hear but like 5 seconds of it. So
All right. So we'll just we'll play this, and then yeah.
So as a result, what you'll see is people will say, I feel so helpless. And that helplessness starts to extend to other areas of their life. And the sad thing is helplessness is often one of the last stops on the train before hopelessness, which can then often be associated with things like depression. A third thing we'll often see is social withdrawal. People will often be very embarrassed, ashamed, confused, or humiliated by being in these relationships. They can't see a way out. They're often afraid of being judged. They feel silly that they're in this situation. And as a result, instead of seeing themselves as human, that any of us could be in this situation, they'll often withdraw from other people. They're sometimes also afraid that if they share what's happening in their relationship, other people are going to tell them, you need to get out, and they don't feel ready yet.
Right. And we talk about in the series that when you go up to a friend that you think is in a
Echo.
narcissistic relationship and you say leave, it can often keep them in the relationship longer, sever the relationship between you and that person. There's really only negative consequences. So I like that in the series you go through what they should do instead. But let's go to number 4.
Number 4 is a lot of anxiety. Now, anxiety is very non-specific. We're living in the era of anxiety. Everyone is experiencing it. But this is a specific kind of an anxiety. It's anxiety that does come from helplessness. And it can be manifested by constantly worrying, not just about the relationship, but about a variety of issues. Anxiety about what will happen if this relationship ends. Anxiety about what will happen if this relationship sticks around. And then that can also impact other areas of life, like eating, sleeping. It just becomes sort of this overall sense of worry that can really overwhelm the person.
Now, what about the final and fifth one?
I think the final and fifth one is something I would call a chronic sense of second guessing. That it kind of relates to that sense of self-doubt, but there is second guessing about bigger ticket items. What if I had done this? What if I hadn't done this? And the challenge then becomes, as a person, often then becomes paralyzed when they're in these relationships. They tend to feel like they can't move any which way. They can't move to get out of it. They can't move to communicate about it. They can't even move in other areas of their life. So I guess it would be second guessing and paralysis that many people in these relationships feel like no matter which way they move, they're walking into an abyss. And so they feel absolutely paralyzed, absolutely stuck. And then they start to second guess every decision that they've ever made in their entire lives. And obviously these 5 signs, and there's lots of others, things like depression and sadness and sometimes irritability. People don't feel like themselves, but those 5 signs are the patterns we most typically see in people who are enduring narcissistic abuse.
If those signs made sense to you, or you're thinking, hey, that sounds like something I've been through, you will definitely want to check out the series at medcircle.com. But while you're here, we're going to give you a sneak peek inside the series to explain that although at times you may feel, like you said, helpless and hopeless, there is actually help and there is hope. Here's an inside look with Dr. Romani from the series.
Okay, so they're just gonna get into like solutions, I guess, for people that are hurt by this. So pretty much, we were looking at a lot of traits of narcissism, where it came from, where the word originated from, things like that, and they were pretty much saying that it's a couple of different signs. So what I'm gathering from this is the narcissist just does everything for self, and so but they know that if they come out the gate, like, it's all about me, I don't give a fuck about you, nobody's gonna date them. So it's like they were saying, psychologically, they want their cake and they eat it too. They want all the benefits of a relationship without really investing for real. So so the love bombing, they said, is a part of it to make it look like a real relationship, like make it look like they're interested. So they'll love bomb to draw the person in. And if that person is a genuine person that's never experienced that before, they're going to probably fall prey to that love bomb. Like, oh, this person is awesome. They're great. our conversations with this person is great. But if it's just an act, then eventually, it's going to degrade into something else. And so they're pretty much saying like the narcissist love bombs you, brings you in, doesn't really give a shit. So now when you're fully invested, out of nowhere, they'll just end everything in like a toxic way and then completely ghost you. Because in their mind, they probably found somebody else and moved on already because they already didn't value you or the relationship. They were just acting the whole time because they don't really give a shit about you. And it's nothing to them because they think so highly of themselves already. Like, it's not really going to affect them because they don't give a shit. They think they're this wonderful person, and you should just be happy that you were able to deal with them type shit. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm gathering from it. Seems real vindictive, kind of void of like empathy. Yeah, man. So pretty much they draw you in, act like the perfect person, start to gaslight you, um, make you feel like everything you're doing is wrong, and and then completely ghost you without any real closure. That's what it sounds like.
Well, that hits me a little bit close to home. So naturally, I'm a little defensive about it. I have some questions. So, like, at what point can you ghost someone, or what point are you in a relationship where you can't just ghost them? You see what I'm saying? Like, when has it gone too far that to where you can't just ghost the person?
Well, I mean, if you're completely done and if you have good reason to be done, that's why I'm saying like the lines are kind of blurred because this could easily be confused with a relationship where one person just was very not self-aware, and the other person was like trying to give them hints and tell them they needed to make certain changes,
Right.
and the other person just wasn't doing it, and probably the person got tired of asking and tired of trying and was like, fuck this, I deserve better, I'm just gonna go and end this.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would say I wouldn't try to call anyone something like that without like a degree. You know what I mean? Or like a diagnosis from an actual professional. But no, I don't think it's a bad thing to ghost someone if you had some kind of closure. You know what I mean? Now, if you triggered them and gaslit them and made them feel down and then never spoke to them again, that's one thing, right? And you just left them hanging, that's one thing. But if you like had some closure or whatever and you were just genuinely done and moved on, I don't see a problem with that.
I got
I
you.
don't see a problem. Now, maybe a person that was way too invested, that has their own emotional issues, and they kind of get way too invested in relationships, and that's just their thing. They may look at it as narcissism because they might feel abandoned anyway if you have abandonment issues.
Right.
So you'll listen to something like this, and it's like they're abandoning you on purpose, and then it's like, well, I felt abandoned. They're a narcissist. It's like, no, like you were probably like kind of a piece of shit, and you just maybe were a little lazy and not motivated, and people want a
Exactly.
motivated partner that's going to be on their level, and maybe you weren't. Maybe you weren't, living to your full potential, and they're not wrong for wanting someone that will do that. You know what I mean? Um, so I think those two things are very similar for a breakup, even on both sides of the genders. Um, but I think what she's saying, if they're doing it in an extremely toxic way, where they're intentionally like trying to gaslight you or whatever, and they just have toxic traits. I think the whole conversation with this narcissism thing is, you know, someone can easily be called a narcissist that just wants to break something off, right?
Oh yeah, because I'm glad you're going over the topic because I feel like the word does get thrown around a whole lot.
Right, right. And and then you're upset and you're mad, so now you're running around misdiagnosing a person, you know what I mean, to other people, and you could be wrong. You could be the one with the problems. So really, you're hurting yourself because you're still lying to yourself, and you're not really gonna make any improvements until you accept what the fuck um probably made them leave. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't. I think everyone has a right to completely cut someone off if they're completely done. You know what I mean? If they're completely done and they feel like it's no hope in a relationship, no hope in you, and then they're done. Like I'm not mad at that. But like if there's a person like the guy like there was a guy example earlier, and they had 5 different things. They were like love bombing. Then they were like there after the love bombing is done, it happens real quick and real fast, and it's real heavy and intense. And then shortly after the love bombing, there's a decline in passion and romance, and there start to be a divide, and within that divide they start making you feel, you know what I mean, start trying to convince you that it's something wrong with you. So the other person is like, well, I'm just going to try to fix it. If it's something wrong with me, I'll fix myself. While meanwhile the narcissist is like, I don't want them to fix themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I kind of like enjoy having this dominion over a person. Like that's when it becomes like some fucked up shit. Like, it's one thing for a person to give someone closure and tell them, hey, I don't think this is going to work because of XYZ. So I think it should be over. Just because that person makes that decision before the next person is ready doesn't make that person toxic. You see what I'm saying? It just means, you know, they weren't ready to break up. So what? Now if that person is prolonging the situation and staying in the relationship simply and they know that this person is probably getting more sad or more depressed, or they're trying really hard and their efforts are going like nowhere. When it starts to move into um now once you've convinced the other person they're doing something wrong, and then they're trying, right, but you're putting them down at the same time, you're making them feel like their efforts are for nothing, because remember, there's an emotional imbalance. This person likes the other person way more
Right.
than, you know what I mean, they like them way more than um you like them way more than they like you, or vice versa. Um,
Vice
hey,
versa.
and yeah, so with that type of dynamic, I think yeah, I think it could be easily mistaken with just with the imbalanced emotional relationship that ended. I think someone that's hurt and felt left without because if you're not ready to end a relationship, no closure is good enough. I mean, that person could walk up to you, have a full blown conversation,
Oh
eat dinner,
yeah.
and you still don't want to accept it. Just because you don't want to accept it doesn't make that person an asshole. Just
Right.
because you got way too emotionally invested, or didn't have enough self awareness to know exactly what was going on, or you're not as stable or on the level, or even if you don't have enough going on in your own life, so you just fully invested in someone, that's not the other person's fault. Not at all.
Well,
Not
in
at
my
all.
opinion, the lines are extremely blurred
It is
nowadays.
very much. Yeah.
Yes.
Extremely blurred. I mean, everything is so black and white now. There's no more nuance. There's no more gray area. Everything is like straight black and white. So there's no way to tell anymore.
You mean there's no way to tell whether you were a narcissist or the other person was at fault? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's what he's saying, because he was saying that earlier, how he was in college for something completely different, and they were having him write papers on stuff that had nothing to do with anything.
Oh, I can tell you what it is. I mean, I'm in there to go study science. Like I'm talking about physics, math, whatever. But in all classes, except for the math classes, they had us freaking writing papers on gay rights all the time. I don't get that.
And that bothers you?
It's not that it bothers me. It was completely out of like the scope of what I was there to study for. Why am I writing on gay rights issues in a physics class?
I have no idea. I would ask
You
the teacher.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I,
That's an issue
yeah, I would
because I
ask.
came to study science.
Yeah,
You feel me?
I
As I
do.
told Preach earlier, I personally don't care what these people do. Whatever business they got in their bedroom, that's on them. Why? Like, I don't have a dog in that fight anyway because I'm hetero, first of all. Now, as far as like, supporting the plight or whatever, well, you know what I'm saying? It's not my fight to fight. You know what I mean? So I pay the college money to come study science. I'm talking about physics. I'm talking about biology. I'm talking about chemistry and all that stuff. Why am I writing papers on gay rights issue? And that was way back, like, during the Obama years, back in like 2010 to 12, et cetera, et cetera. I had to go. I had to run. I had to, because this was becoming like, a little bit too overbearing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like, this is completely like, what would you expecting me to go ahead and, like, write all this stuff, get a grade on this stuff that's going to go ahead and give me like a GPA that's going to say that I'm competent in what I, in the field that I'm going into. You put me in front of a freaking, like, I don't know how what could I say, like an equation, some kind of equation in physics, and I can't even freaking do it because I did not learn, like, the formula. I didn't learn how to, like, solve the equation because I was too busy writing papers on gay rights issues. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta find a new school.
No, I found what I wanted. I went for the trade route, man. I went straight for the trade route.
Even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, Godspeed to them. I mean, I have no problems with people because, it's not like I get up every day, like, with hate on my heart and go beat them upside the head when I see them or whatever, unless they don't give me my customary 5 feet, like, and try to get a little too touchy-feely, which I have a problem with, then I'm going to smack you upside the head. But other than that, we engage in conversations. We, go out, like, hang out, whatever it is, with the few friends that I have that are in that particular predicament. My ex-brother-in-law was actually, part of the Rainbow Coalition, and he was a great guy. He's the one who's actually helping me with my son when my miserable ex-wife was in a mode over there, like, getting her brains, like, freaking banged out instead of being at home watching my kid. So he took over, you know what I'm saying? And I'll always be grateful to him for that. You know what I'm saying? He was an excellent guy. You know what I mean? And I never had an issue with that because he never brought it to my attention. He never made it, like, in such a way that, look at me, see me, watch me. You know what I mean? Like the majority of them are. Like, they want to be seen so bad that they push their issues a little bit too far down your throat. You know what I mean? He was not like that. And I respected that out of him. And he respected my boundaries as well. So we never had any problems,
Yo, I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you had to write a paper about it, that's basically what you would write. That's basically. Would you say that's the theme of your paper? What you just talked about?
No, I was like, yeah. What do you mean? What, say your question again. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Well, you said, like, in physics you had to write a paper about this. So
no, not a paper. Papers after papers after papers. That's what we're writing about.
Sure. And I guess I was just asking, is that what you would say in the papers that you wrote, like what you just said there, or did you have?
Well, I used those what I said as, like, a few talking points, like, to illustrate my point, because I had to, like, go ahead and turn in some kind of paper, to get my grade. But it's just that after a while I got, like, sick of it, and I just, I didn't re-register. I didn't continue on. You know what I mean? I just, like, dropped the whole college thing, and I was like, you know what? First chance I get, I'm going for trade, because that's not going to cut it. You making me incompetent. That's what you're doing. By not teaching me the stuff that I'm coming here to study, you are, like, pushing me towards incompetency, which is not a good thing, because I wanted to be an engineer.
Sure.
And by making me write papers, like, on like, social issues, instead of, like, teaching me, like, how to solve, like, equations, like, differential equations and stuff like that. Now, when I get on the job, I can't even get a job when I come out. You know what I mean? As an engineer, I'm not even an engineer, even though the degree might say I'm an engineer. I'm not an engineer because I did not learn anything about engineering. I just wrote to freaking, like, write speeches and write papers on gay issues. That's what we're doing.
I hear you.
And that's completely, like, off topic. It's like, it's completely out of subject. You know what I mean? It's not that I had an issue with the people. It's just that, like, that's not what I'm paying, like, freaking, tuition to come and learn. I came to learn about Isaac Newton, you know what I mean? Like, Thomas Edison, whoever it is that they claim, like, we're doing, equals MC squared. That's what I came to learn. Gravity, buoyancy, whatever they call it again. I forgot, man. It's been a long time. Like, how boats float, how planes fly, how cars ride, trajectory, velocity. That's what I came to learn. I did not come, speak about gay rights issues like, breakfast, lunch, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean? So that was my problem with it, and that's the reason why I left college. And then, like, it was not such a bad choice overall because, like I said, I got my trade. Now, like, I fix cars for a living. I work on my own shit. Like, when I have it, I'm doing good now. So I can't complain. It wasn't such a bad choice after all. Something that actually allows me to feed my daughter.
It makes sense. It makes sense, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let
Mm-hmm.
me see here, man. Look, I don't. I actually. Uh, I was live for a long time last night. I might not go. Might not. I don't want to. I don't want to feel like I'm beating dead horse with this topic because everybody talks about narcissism. It's a hot button issue. Because it has to do with relationships, and when people feel hurt, they look for answers, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
better to blame the next person and
Mm-hmm.
look inward and say, well, maybe. Oh, I'm talking about this on both sides, so I'm not fat shaming or nothing. But or maybe I should go to the gym, or maybe I should you know be more motivated, or maybe I could be a better, more attentive, romantic person or whatever. Instead of looking inward, I think it's a little bit easier when they feel that type of pain to definitely to push it on to someone else,
Oh,
right?
it's always easier to blame someone else than
Of
to
course,
take a real deep introspective look.
right, right. So that being said, man, you guys support everybody that's in the chat. Let me try to answer Gundry. PTSD, um, slight PTSD. Uh, it didn't get like too far into the PTSD side, but definitely anxiety and depression. It sounds like you took classes in the social sciences. I don't know if you're talking about me or bro, but I haven't. I just try to pay attention and try to have some emotional maturity. I might not be a fucking scientist or a doctor, but I can be considerate, and sometimes that's all you need, right? Um, man, I appreciate y'all. This is I'm gonna try to keep making this a safe space for people. I appreciate the panelists, y'all coming up here. I don't know. I might get the urge, think of another topic, and go live again.
What,
Um,
tonight?
I might. I don't know. I might feel like playing video games. I might feel like
Shit,
just
I'm
jumping on a
talked
panel.
out by there.
I feel you. I feel you.
Mm.
But
I
yeah,
didn't
man.
even know you went off last night.
Yeah. That was about 5 hours, man.
Dang, you got time to waste, man. You crazy. 5 hours, like, just sitting there looking at a screen, talking to yourself for the most part. Man, how you do that, man? I can't get into that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like talking. I don't like talking that much anyway. You already know. I'm not a big talker, but to see myself, like, a long time ago, I thought about making like creating a YouTube channel, which
Yeah,
is like the reason why you see this account right here.
yeah.
But then, like, after, I want to say, by the time Google took over and, like, they started changing things, and, like, uh, I looked at it, I was like, no, I don't have the type of personality to be doing this, man. So I just left it alone altogether because I figured it wouldn't be for me.
I mean, it's not for everybody, man. I know,
No.
bro. It's people that stay in the bushes for
Mm-hmm.
forever and they never pop out, but they'll donate. Or it's people that only stay in the comments and never hop on the panel until like real serious things happen, like once a year. So I mean,
Well,
everybody's different. Some people like their anonymity and they just consider it entertainment.
well,
I feel like
considering me being here, that's the third time I'm here. Those
yeah,
are the only 3 times that I've ever been live with anybody on YouTube. Even though, like, I watch a lot of content, I see a lot of panels, especially in the manosphere. But I've never jumped into a panel. It's only with you that I started, and it's only the third time. So imagine.
hey man, yeah, I appreciate that. This says a lot, man, because
Mm.
I know you're a solid dude, man, and
Mhm.
I feel
I like
honored.
for real. Yeah, man. But no, this is cool. When I get the urge and when I feel like chopping it up, definitely could do that.
Mm.
I'm seeing every day a little bit more people in the chat. I want my channel to grow organically. You know, some people on YouTube that like to buy views and subscribers. I understand. I understand you need that quick success. I get it. I get it. You know, I get it.
Right
You need it
now.
for your
Need it,
self-esteem.
need it right now. Instant gratification.
Not it's my subscribers and I need it now.
That's right.
But
uh,
hey, moving forward, like from now on, like if you're going to go ahead and like jump on live or something, like jump on a panel, shoot me a message, man. That way I'll know. Because sometimes
yeah.
those like stupid notifications don't work.
Right, right. Sometimes people don't get notified. You know what I'm going to do? If people can fucking avoid being toxic and nasty and fucking uh uh rapey towards the women in the chat, I really want to make like a big Instagram group chat where like the regulars are. So
Yeah.
all I got to do is shoot the fucking link to the IG or
Yeah.
shoot the video to the group, and everybody can see it at once. So that way I got double notifications
Well, now you're
and
not going to be able to stop that, man. Like people are so thirsty right now and desperate for like a piece of ass. You're not going to stop that, no matter how hard you try. You just got to have yourself like a solid team of like moderators that can go ahead and snipe
yeah.
them out every single time they come up there with some bullshit. Let
Oh
me
no,
know,
I'm
man, if
talking
you want to
about
do it. I'll moderate for you, man, because I don't have no problems like kicking these people out. Because I may have like
you
my
don't have wrench.
huh.
You don't got no wrench.
I got a wrench here, but not on Instagram. I don't.
I
I
feel you.
follow you on Instagram, but I've never seen you there.
There are no wrenches on Instagram. I don't think.
Well, that's
What
what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying,
Make me a
I'm gonna start a
moderator.
group chat.
Yeah.
You're a moderator on my YouTube channel, I think.
Yes, I am. You gave me a wrench.
Okay, yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
And
that's
see,
how it's supposed to be.
and see,
Yeah.
I'm the last one that needs a wrench. I'm the one that needs to be wrenched on. You know what I mean?
You the one that needs to get
Yeah.
timed out. I got you. I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep that
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
mind.
man.
You got a
Let me
hot
know.
hand with that wrench.
Put
Yeah,
on my
get you some solid moderators, and we'll snap that shit out. Because, like I said, man, just like you can't stop all crime around the world, you can't stop these thirsty mofo's coming in people's like groups and chats and all that stuff, like talking crazy shit, man. That's not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So like I was saying,
yeah.
I've learned that if you got a cool group of people,
Mhm.
you can make an Instagram group chat where only the people in that Instagram group could see the messages.
Yeah.
Um. Uh.
Well,
And
make it happen, Captain.
yeah. So I was thinking if I get all the people in there that generally watch my shit, I could just make one big group and then just
Okay.
send the links. Or if it's a StreamYard, I'll send the StreamYard links.
Mhm.
But what I'm talking about is on the Instagram side of the game, right?
Well, that's
On
what I'm
the
saying.
no,
In
yeah, no,
Instagram.
you
Yeah.
can't moderate that. You know, I just have to trust the people that I put in the group to not be weird.
Ah, okay, okay.
You know
Got
what
it.
I'm saying? That's what
Got
I'm
it.
saying. Because
Got it.
it's some people on YouTube that have no idea what other people's Instagrams are. So I'm gonna have to filter that out too. I might
Yeah.
have to make multiple groups. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because you're not about to turn around and say I'm being messy. I'm a grown ass fucking man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be messy. My room might get messy. I'm fucking a bitch. It's definitely gonna get messy. But being messy as in petty and causing drama, no, I don't understand how that side of the game works. So I'm not even gonna put myself in that space where a motherfucker could blame me for some petty ass argument that jumped out
Mhm.
of the Instagram and came with. No, I'm not. No, I address all that bullshit at the door. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's a waste of time and it's counterproductive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so that might be something I do. I'm gonna have to look through it. I might just strictly do a live where I do a verification live where I'm like, okay, motherfucker, send me your Instagrams. I'll just give out my Instagram. I have motherfuckers DM me like, hey, let me join, and then I'll try to filter some shit out and make sure it's halfway decent people in the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some kind of vetting process. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I got to think of some kind of vetting process to make sure
Yeah.
that everyone in the group is like not is can be accounted for one,
Yeah.
right? Because
Mhm.
if you have to be if you know off rip you're going to be held accountable for doing shit, you're going to think twice about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
gonna be there got to be an aspect of it. But
Yeah.
I might spend a few hours looking that up if I'm not listening to Cookie roast somebody. Hopefully I can catch it. And so yeah, by the way, man, subscribe to Nubian Narcissistic Abuse. That's Cookie. Subscribe to 420. Does Gundry have? I don't think Gundry does content. Subscribe though. Um, Subscribe to Not on My Watch, man. She hopped in here early with me. Subscribe to Queen's Throne, Naomi China D, Miranda.
Man, you're gonna have to go there and notate that in the chat or
Yeah,
something, man.
man. If I forgot anybody, you know
Yeah.
I'll be trying
At
to
this
say
time,
everybody.
at this time of night, people brains start going in slow mo, man. So remembering all those names is not gonna be easy. Like
Yeah,
type all
man.
those names in the chat.
I gotta start. I gotta start. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do from now on? I'm gonna just get a list of everybody's channel that I fuck with. I'm gonna just start putting it in the description. I'm gonna just put everybody's link that I fuck with in the description. That's what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
from now
But you know
on.
what?
Yeah.
Since I'm looking at like all different sides of things, man. I mean, I may revise my decision, to not like do a YouTube channel, because I'm going to get a PS5 pretty soon, man. I'm going to get back into that side of like that side of things. Try to like clear my head out, like when I have some time. My little girl also into like games and stuff like that, so or a Switch. I owe myself a PS5. So I was thinking about doing something with her, where she plays her games and all that stuff, and we were chilling and goofing around together and all that. I thought about that. I thought about it. So I may turn around, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
A little father son joint. YouTube likes shit like that. Make sure you stay on the right side of YouTube, though. You stay away from the weirdos and the trolls. As long as you
Well,
get into
that's
like
the
the
thing
parent
too,
kid
man.
section,
I mean,
you'll be all
that's
right.
the thing too. There's so many freaking sick people out there, man. That's another thing too, because I'm trying to protect mine.
Oh, so
And
wait.
I'm
This is
not.
what you do. This is what you do, man. What fucks up people's algorithms is when they fuck around and click on shit where people are in complete different spaces. So what I would say, create a fresh, brand new YouTube channel that's not subscribed to nothing, didn't like nothing, didn't watch nothing, and then
Yeah.
that's the channel you do with her. And
Yeah.
so, and every time you log into it, you make sure you're not using it to watch nothing else, and then. And then that way, if you keep your channel cleaned up like that, YouTube will have an easier time keeping that channel in one particular space. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your algorithm for your channel won't be fucked. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Because we've done a couple of TikToks already, man. There's already been some like crazy sickos coming up in there talking about some crazy shit, man. I was like, look,
Pretty
you
soon,
can try to play those games with me if you want, but like I said, your death will beat me to the jail cell. You know what I mean? So
I hope you're not implying that towards me, or like.
oh no, absolutely not.
No.
You're a weirdo yet, Sterling. You haven't shown that side.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You're probably a
I don't know you like that,
narcissist.
man. So I wouldn't apply nothing. This is the first time we get to talk, so I don't know anything about you. So no, I'm talking about like the folks that I've encountered, like before.
Already on TikTok.
Already
TikTok
on
is a place.
TikTok.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even on Facebook, where I have mostly my family, you know what I mean? There's some fucking dumb some bitches that end up in there, like that come and make like some off the cuff remarks and all that shit. Yo.
What about Gundry in the chat right now talking about Naomi? Who's that?
Oh, Naomi is a grown ass woman. Naomi is a content creator. She does content on true crime. She talks about a lot of missing people, missing kids.
Okay.
Yeah, Naomi is cool people's. That's my dog. And she's not hard to look at either. I say that shit
on the eyes.
Very. She's not just easy on the eyes. It's like something, whatever's past that.
Okay, eye candy. Got it.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
But she cool people. That's my dog. That's my dog. Anyway, man, nigga, I could talk all fucking day. Look, instead of this becoming a video that's way too long, because they don't like the long videos, and I want this thing to stay in the right space. But I'm gonna end this. If I start it again, y'all gonna see it. Sterling, do you have Instagram?
No, my dog does. I got a page for my dog. I'll put it in the private chat.
All right, no problem. Put that in the private chat. I already got your shit, Sterling. I'll try to start the group soon. If not, until then, I'll just be sending out individual notifications.
Hey, Sterling.
Yeah, what's up?
You make content?
No, well, for my dog. Like I said, my dog has a channel. I'll just put it in the
okay.
private chat.
No, I was asking because, like I said, like people that are cool, my people's, man, I'll go support. You know what I mean? So if you had a channel, I'll go subscribe and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't really. Yeah, you know, I'm not looking
You
for
just like
stuff.
me then.
Yeah,
You just like me.
I'm just a
Yeah.
guy, just a regular guy. Anyway, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, no problem, man.
I'll tell you later.
All right, bro. Be easy, dog. I'm following your shit right now. You gonna know it's me. I got my face up there. But yeah, man. Once again, appreciate everybody's support of my channel. Thanks again, bro. I might go live again tonight. Try to find another topic or whatever, but that is yet to come. It is only 10:40. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm about to go take that second injection and go conk out, man. I gotta be up at 7 o'clock on the dot for this little girl, man. So
Oh shit! This stream just got a copyright notice.
for what?
I don't know. It might be these narcissistic videos. This
Yes.
lady, she has a check by her name. She's verified, so it's probably copywritten because it's like, oh, she gets paid for this or some shit, or somebody could have flagged it. You know, a lot of people really like me on the YouTube. You know, but either way, I'm cool. The message got out there, so even if I can't save it, it's all good. But
Okay.
thank everybody that joined. Appreciate y'all. I might go live again tonight. And if I did get flagged, hey, y'all come back and give me some more views on my next video. And don't forget to like it. You bitch ass niggas. This is a safe space. Y'all
All
be
right.
easy.
Later.